Hey, it's Roland again. I just got back from Rayman's funeral. It was really weird. They had each of his body parts in their own little cardboard casket, and they forgot to bury one. No one else was gonna take it. I feel bad. That poor bastard was mistreated all his life. Now, he had it coming. He was an asshole, but still, you hate to see it. I think I want to take this time to honor the good moments in Rayman's life. I'm sure I'll think of something. Rayman is a sad tale. A tale of 5 solid games, a small but mighty fan base, and a company that figured Assassin's Creed was more profitable. They weren't wrong. If you don't know who Rayman is at this point, I don't know that I can put it into words. He's a video game mascot through and through, a creative character design that acts as a through line between incredibly different yet very fun games, and you picked a very bad time to become interested in him because he's been missing in action for 10 years. In 10 years? I'm sure we haven't actually seen the end of Rayman as a character, but I've grown a little tired waiting for him to really hit his stride in terms of actual games. My first soiree into the world of the limbless wonder was Rayman 3. I was like 6 or 7 in a GameStop somewhere in Texas with $12 in my pocket, determined to get something worthwhile. I was torn between Rayman 3 and Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure. I was asking the big questions back then. I ended up getting Rayman 3, but at what cost? I got the game home, popped that sucker in, and I had no idea what was going on, but I loved it. It's a beautiful game. If there's ever one thing you can be sure of whenever you try a Rayman game, is that you're gonna be overwhelmed with the creativity on display, and they're always incredibly fun to play, well, but when you compare Rayman as a character to just about every other prominent video game mascot, it just seems like he's always a day late and a dollar short. He's right on the cusp of niche and mainstream. Like, my mom probably couldn't say his name, but if I showed her a picture, she'd know he's someone, and hey, that's still an achievement. I'm still trying to get there myself. I can understand. If you're already into gaming, then there's a lot you can love in Rayman, but it just doesn't offer much to a casual audience. Oh, is that Glowbox? Yeah! The great thing about the Rayman fan community is that they're all a pretty chill bunch. They develop the patience of a monk and cherish every little scrap of Rayman content they can get their hands on. Rayman's gonna be sort of featured in an upcoming DLC for a spin-off of the spin-off that effectively put an end to us getting a new 3D Rayman game? Rayman U2s? It's a beautiful moment when a Rayman fan finds another Rayman fan. Equally beautiful when they take the plunge and finally branch out in a Rayman arena. Let's not get too excited. Now, a fair bit of you who aren't indoctrinated yet may still be asking, I don't get it, who is Rayman? Look it up. Now, the Rayman animated series is no secret at this point, especially not to the diehard Rayman community. In a series with such sparse content, an animated interpretation is sacred, though it is worth noting that this is technically not the first time Rayman was put to animation. That title belongs to the short Rayman's Training. Are you writing this down? The Rayman animated series often gets a nod when people go through the history of TV shows based on video games, which can lull people into thinking they understand what this show is all about. I know I did. I was certain this show had a release on American television. One season that aired on like 4Kids or something, didn't do well, but is fondly remembered by those who did watch it. It looks right at home next to Sonic X and Kirby Right Back at You, right? Nope. It is an absolute miracle we are even viewing this footage right now. Let me explain. After the success of Rayman 2, Ubisoft went ahead on development of a 13-episode season of a Rayman TV show to be produced and primarily aired in France, with dubs to be released in other European countries as well as the good old USA. They only finished 4 episodes. It's not 13. Rayman was cancelled quite suddenly just as they were putting the finishing touches on the 5th episode. The running theory online is that it was due to lack of funding and poor writing. Oh, is that all? So whoever was in charge of this series, thrifty as they were, decided to go ahead and air the 4 episodes that constitute the whole series in France, Germany, and the Netherlands, as well as compile them on a VHS to release in America, effectively giving us a weird segmented Rayman direct-to-video movie. I'll take what I can get. Not a whole lot of people legitimately grew up with this show. Most people who come across it only find it because their bloodlust for Rayman content hasn't been satiated. We've all been there. But even if you're not big on the character, you cannot deny this is an interesting little piece of history. And I want to watch it. I want to see if the cancellation was justified. Let's watch Rayman. I think that's enough. This intro is bad. I don't know what else to say. It's just clips from the show with cheesy spy music, you know? Lack-mack napping. Hey, my French is getting pretty good.
All the Who's down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
And the rigatoni tent! Alright, let's piece this together. Flying tent, small village, rigatoni lack-mack. I'm lost. Okay, I'm getting it now. It's a traveling circus run by Mr. Shadow Man. I think he's rigatoni, but one can't be too sure these days. There's people in cages. Okay, that might be the closest thing to Rayman 2 we're getting. I'm fine with that. Oh, Cindy, time has been cruel to you.
It's time for the main event! The juggling wonder, the loony, Lack-mack!
Okay, wonderful. We now know what Lack-mack means. That's him. I fucking hate him. Look at him, he's disgusting. He's like a kangaroo frog thing that talks like a background Muppet.
Lack-mack one free!
Is he supposed to be a stand-in for Glowbox? They seem very similar, except Glowbox is getting into heaven. In fact, there are more than a few parallels you can draw between this cast and the cast of Rayman 2. Did they not get the rights?
That's my Lack-mack. That's my Lack-mack. That's my Lack-mack. That's Lack-mack.
Razorbeard? Rayman 2 Razorbeard? Bootleg Glowbox? Real Rayman 2 Razorbeard? Making a TV show must be fucking complicated. So everything seems right jolly in the circus, but behind the scenes, they treat Lack-mack and the others horribly by locking them in cages and something. Good.
Oh, Flips, why don't you fly away? Save yourself! You're right. We do need each other.
What a beautiful sentiment. Who are you? So our extended cast consists of Bettina the Lady, Flips the Fairy, I think, Lack-mack, and Cookie. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what animal he is. A cookie! But we are 4 minutes into this Rayman TV show, and I haven't seen one sign of there he is.
But you don't look like Lack-mack.
Voiced by the legendary Billy West, no less.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. Lack-mack is goofy and he jumps around.
Voiced poorly. So Rayman and Razorbeard have the best scene in the whole series, then Rayman and the rest of the gang hatch a plan to escape. Their plan is to escape. I like it. Simple.
Cookie, what's that?
Oh, that? This is my automatic bread slicer.
That's fucking sick, Cookie. You're the best. So they make their escape. Rigatoni and Razorbeard do jack shit to stop them other than calling the cops, I guess. The circus tent crashes and our 5 heroes are free at last. They find some dude working on a car.
Oh, this hunky junk. I should get rid of this car.
My, friend here can car.
Man, listen, your friend can fix it, he can have it.
Cookie fixes the car by removing everything from it, and they drive off into the sunset. That's alright so far. Nothing great, but I could see myself having watched and generally enjoyed this as a kid. I'm getting some Sonic X vibes, where the characters in some general situations are like loosely tied to the games, but the world of the show is totally its own, and I'm okay with that. Ideally, I would want a show like this to have a bit more to do with the source material, but the poster child for the Rayman franchise at this point was Rayman 2, and that game is pretty dark, and that's just not what they were going for here. I'm down to see what they do with the characters, and it seems like they have some sense of evolving status quo. That's always nice to see in shows like this. We have a solid formula to go off of, our main group on the run from Rigatoni and Razorbeard. Let's see what they do with it. What? Episode 2. Things are going poorly. Everybody's pissed, Cookie's riding his will, and for some reason they're all being really mean to Flips. What did she do? That's fucking sad, man. But alas, the car is towed with Flips inside because they parked under a no parking sign. So they have to figure out where to find the car, so Rayman decides to ask the cop that's been tailing them, but so he doesn't get recognized, he dresses up as a coffee shop sign.
Yeah, okay. You want to go to the impound lot downtown. Air trolley, number 7 train. Last stop.
You're too kind.
You fool! Chase scene, chase scene, chase scene. Wow, I fucking love the world of this show. I'm not sure if Michel Ancel had a hand in the creation of it, but I'm sure he was at least heavily consulted. It's very Rayman, but like, not necessarily Rayman 2. If anything, it feels more in line with the world and characters of Rayman 3. That's kind of strange, huh? They make it to the scrapyard, but at the same time as Officer Grubb. They sneak inside some scrap cars, and Rayman hitches Grubb's car so it gets impounded too, because he's a fucking asshole. They get inside and have to find a way to save Flips before the car gets eaten by a giant robotic cyclops cow. You know? Rayman and Bettina climb up to save Flips, but oh no! Tragedy!
Cookie, over here!
Oh no. What do I do? What do I do?
Anything! No!
I'm coming. I'm coming. Ouch!
Yes! 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 It's down to the wire. Flips is about to get eaten alive, and Rayman is too far away. But what's this? A new power?
Go get her! Gotcha. You're alive.
This show's neat.
You gave us quite a scare, Flipsy.
Not so fast. Wait a minute. Where's the one? What's that?
Black Mac, what in God's name are you doing?
Black Mac catch? Sorry, Cookie.
Why?
Hey, that's my car! Stop! There goes my car. There goes my car. There goes my car.
So, success, I guess. We rescued Flips, ruined a man's life, and got a new car with a ball on front. Life is good.
I'm only gonna say it once. Thanks for saving Flips. By the way,
Why are you only gonna say it once?
does Lackneck know where he's going?
They're all dead. This is a metaphor for the afterlife. The episode ends with the gang falling into the roof of a building and deciding to make it their home. But what's this? Lieutenant Sergeant Grubsy lives on the lower floor? Oh, I guess we're gonna have ourselves a regular Five Nights at Freddy. I'm kinda liking it. I'm still bummed they sidelined Rigatoni and Razorbeard, but maybe they meant for them to be more looming, overarching antagonists. I like Grub, he's fun, and them living in the same building is completely contrived, but also pretty funny. I like that we're learning more about Rayman's powers. It would be neat to see his origin explored more, at least what his origin is in this canon. In short, Black Mac is tolerable now, and Cookie's the f***ing best. Episode 3. Cookie's the f***ing worst.
Oh, my head.
Oh, my stomach.
Oh, my head.
Oh, my aching head.
This is the whole episode.
Maybe it's that brain tumor acting up again.
Bettina, you can't make jokes like that. Also, what happened to your voice?
Cookie, I'll make you a deal. You go to the doctors and I'll stop giving you such a hard time.
You promise?
Promise.
It was kind of nice. So they go to the hospital, they have a new car now, I guess, and I still fucking hate the way Lack Mac's teeth collapse when he makes the ooh sound. At least we get the best joke of the whole series.
G-U-R-A-Q-T-I-N-V-U. Ooh, I don't blame you. I am pretty good looking.
So we have some doctor antics, and the results come back that Cookie's in perfect condition, his only sickness is of the mind. Ah well, lock him up! What is this, One Flew Over Cookie's Nest? Shut up. I hate this episode. I really hate this episode. I hate any cartoon that has an insane asylum episode. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Sorry, just looking for a friend.
I just saw your friend. Yeah. He was here, and he said he never wanted to see you again. He was really mad.
It's just a bit too f***ing close to home, my dude. We do get a weird bit of character exploration with Grub, in that his mom is institutionalized here too. We don't really get to explore how that affects him, but he looks dead inside when he first walks in.
It's Grub.
Let's move on. This episode is bad, and I don't want to talk about it. Last episode, let's please just keep it light. It's Rayman, for Pete's sake. An episode where they help Grub out with a date? Alright, I can manage that. I didn't add that sound effect. Nothing too much special happens in this episode. Grub flubs his date so the gang try to save it for him without him seeing and capturing them. I'm not going to go into too much detail just to save you something in case you want to give this series a watch. This episode is good fun though, and there's some genuinely funny moments.
Sorry about my speeding.
You were going 65 in a 35 zone.
Thanks for not giving me a ticket.
Oh, well,
They go through all the trouble of completely saving his date, and all that happens is Grub ties the tablecloth around his neck and gets up.
No, Grub, don't do it!
So the lady dies, Grubs gets institutionalized, and our heroes get a nice 2-story apartment. The end. This show's a mess. Of the 4 episodes, only half are good. It's all over the place in terms of humor, pacing, animation, character, dialogue. It shows that it's just a rush job heading for the chopping block. So, of course, I kinda liked it. I think this show is just about as perfect as it can be for what it is. Well, maybe we could have done without the Asylum episode, but otherwise I think it's exactly what I would expect and want out of an early Rayman cartoon. It really does astound me that we didn't see at least a full season of this. Considering what other shows were on around the time, I think Rayman would have fit in just fine. That's less a statement to its credit and more a testament to the lackluster state of TV in the early 2000s. But even then, I almost think it's better that it's this obscure limited release thing. It makes it more special. There is so much speculation you can do with this series, and I think that's why people hold it so dear. What were they planning to do with Rigatoni and Razorbeard? Would the gang and Grub reconcile and be on the same team? Do Cookie and Lack-Mack have romantic tension? And I'm still asking the big questions. If we ended up getting the rest of the 13 episodes, I think we would have ended up disappointed to a degree. There's little hints that they wanted to tell a grander story, but there's not really much of a through line, and the characters are very loose. Particularly Bettina, mainly because she's voiced by 3 separate people over these 4 episodes, but it's just not clear what relationship she has with the rest of the gang. She swings wildly from being overtly sassy to overtly sweet, and just lands in the realm of the girl. So should you watch this show? Well, I know you're at least curious. Give it a go. It's short. The best pitch I can give for it. This show's way better if you just imagine how it could have continued in your mind, I think. And hey, who knows? Plenty of Rayman fans ended up working in creative fields. We could see a spiritual successor to the show come out someday if Rayman gets some more robust popularity in the future. I think if we ever get another Rayman show, they should at least pay homage to this, and I think they will. It's still a very beloved piece of Rayman lore. It even got a fan reanimation of the 2nd episode on YouTube by some ridiculously talented and funny artists. At this point, this series is just a neat little treat for Rayman fanatics to fill the void. And boy, oh boy, did it kinda try to. So what should you do now that you know the show exists? Panic. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube if you want to, but if nothing else, I would recommend watching the fan reanimated video, because it's not just a fun interpretation of the series, it's also a nice loving tribute to the Rayman fan community. I am glad I finally paid my respects. I think now I feel fully at peace with letting Rayman go.